Hi everybody, Derek Christensen here. I wanted to talk to you today about what happens if you're in a coma and you don't have an estate plan. But before I do that, I wanted to let you know how to reach out to me. I'm an estate planning attorney and probate attorney in Dallas, Texas, and I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. Feel free to reach out. Email me directly at Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com. Or you can find me on my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. So with that, let's dive right into the topic. And when I say coma, I actually don't really mean just comas. You know, I'm not discriminating against people who have comas. But more specifically, like, what if it's incapacitation overall? And that term can include you're unable to communicate with anybody and you're outside of the country. What if you're under anesthesia and you're on the surgery table? What if you're in a coma? You know, other situations where you have no ability to communicate what you actually would want in a circumstance. And this could also include other situations where you have deteriorating mental situations of Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever else that comes with age oftentimes. In these situations, I mean, do you have a plan? Do you know who would be in charge and who would make everything happen if you were unable to? This is a very strong question that you should absolutely ask yourself, because many times we assume this would never happen to me, that would be decades down the road. And I can't tell you how many times it has popped up, unfortunately, for people who are young, healthy, happy, have a great job, and they get into a coma because they got hit by a car or whatever. So the answer to the original question is, what happens if you don't have an estate plan in place and one of these incapacitating events happens to you? Well, you're going to follow the default laws of Texas. And Texas literally has laws outlined that say, all right, if you're in a hospital and somebody needs to make a decision and there's no power of attorney, then we put this person in charge, and then this person, if not that person, and et cetera, et cetera. They will follow a list, and hospitals will have to rigidly follow that list because otherwise they'd be breaking the law. So this includes your coma, where maybe your spouse will be able to make decisions on your behalf. Sometimes if you don't have a spouse and you have siblings versus children versus parents, it starts getting pretty hairy, and all of a sudden people will start assuming they can make decisions on your behalf even though they can't, legally speaking. So that is why having an estate plan in place is extremely important. An estate plan is going to, again, going back to the laws of Texas, the laws say we will follow these default laws if there is no estate plan. But if there is an estate plan, we will do what the estate plan says. So you can customize it however you want. You could say this person's in charge under these circumstances, but if they are, I don't know, drinking, then or on drugs, then they can't serve and this person will, and you can customize it however you want, in so much that exactly what you're looking for will happen. You can specify what type of medicine you want to take, what type of doctors you can go to, who can pay what under what circumstances. It is quite comprehensive. And if you're working with a solid estate planning attorney, they're going to ask you these questions to make sure that your exact wishes happen and not the government's, and not some errant family member who is a smooth talking person who convinces the rest of the family. So with that, I strongly encourage you, strongly consider what will happen if you can't pay your bills and you're in a coma. I actually had one client who, he fell down some stairs, he punctured his lung, it turned into sepsis, I think, from what I understand. He got into a coma, and while he was in a coma, his bank didn't know that nobody could pay, and so he had an eviction notice and medical bills and a punctured lung when he woke up. I mean, it was crazy. And had he had those those documents, the estate plan in place, then he would have been okay. So, well, the bills would have still happened, because that's how it is, but everything else would have been a lot better. So that's my strong recommendation for you. Consider it. Think about, who would you want to be in charge? Do you really want the government to pick somebody in charge of everything else in your life? Do you really feel comfortable with a hospital choosing what kind of treatments you get rather than your own preferences? So with that, email me. Let me know. Ask me any question. Give me any kind of commentary. I'd love to hear from you. It'd be great to be able to help people out and be a resource. Again, you can find me in my email, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can go on my website and schedule a free consultation directly onto my calendar at www.legionlawpllc.com. You can go to our Contact Us page. So with that, have a great day, and thanks so much for watching.